Hello, Matt with EWA.
Chris with EWA.
In today's video, we are going to talk about retirement tip number 4, which is some exercises you can do to make sure that you are ready for retirement, and then also just based upon our experience, what we found phasing into retirement, what are the best tips and tactics into doing so. So, Chris, tell us from experience, we've had a lot of clients go from actively working to retirement. What are some of the best tips and tactics that you've seen or exercises that clients can do to adequately prepare themselves mentally for the transition?
Absolutely. One of my favorite exercises that we will sometimes do in meetings is simply draw out two pie charts side by side, because if we think about it, the big thing that is really going to change during retirement is your time. So let's assume you get 8 hours of sleep in a day. You're at work for 10 hours. How are you spending those remaining 6 hours of your free time now, and how's that going to change whenever you're retired? A lot of times we see going from 100 to 0 at work can be quite a shock to some. So this is just a quick exercise that we do to get the mind going and start thinking a little down the road of how we're going to start spending our time.
Excellent. How many clients have been able to answer that question spot on, have it ready to go? When I retire, here's how I'm going to spend my time.
Very few. Very few.
It's very interesting. So we've seen, typically it's best to view retirement as a journey, not a sudden goal or destination. If it's a sudden goal or destination where you're, imagine getting dragged across the finish line on a hospital stretcher, you're exhausted from work. Typically that's not the healthiest thing to do. But if it's a journey where you're potentially going from 100 miles an hour to 75 to 50, the kind of a phased retirement, it's very thoughtful. Here's how I'm going to spend my time. Here's how I'm going to keep the intellectual capacity that I've spent my whole career building. I'm going to keep my mind sharp. Maybe it's time with grandkids, maybe it's charity. The more intentional we find clients are how they're going to spend their time and how the resources can support that time, the more happy and fulfilled we see our clients during their retirement years.